Baked eggs. There are a million different flavors of baked eggs. Shakshuka, the Spanish eggs, there's Moroccan eggs, there's Italian eggs. I'm gonna make Jock's baked eggs, right? Had a couple of embers still burning in wood fire from last night, so I just chucked some wood on it. So I'm just going to do it for breakfast this morning. I've got an oven earthenware kind of dish. You can do it in metal, earthenware, whatever you like, as long as it can stand a bit of heat. If you don't have a wood oven, you can do this in your oven inside, no problem at all. I'm going to start by reducing some of the tomato. It's kind of important. So what I want to do is, I've got some baby Roma tomatoes just out of the can. Just squeeze them to get the juice out of them, because I want to reduce as much of the liquid out of these tomatoes as possible, and that way it holds the egg. Not, oh, just put tomato all over myself. I was trying so hard not to do it, and I did it anyway. They can go straight in to a hot pan. So while that's going, I want to get some speck. Now, speck is like amped up bacon, right? It's like delicious dried bacon. Cut them up into about 1 centimeter slices, might be just under actually. So be as generous as you like. I quite like a reasonable amount of bacon. Just cut the bacon up. Like, these are good sized chunks of bacon. You want to know that you've got some speck in along with your eggs, so don't be too precious on the size. Straight into my dish. And I put that in the wood oven while I'm getting everything else ready. Let's have a look at these tomatoes. So you can see they're just reducing down, and what we're going to end up with is a really nice, thick, delicious tomato paste. I want some chili and I want some herbs. Loz, how hot for breakfast?
As low as possible, please.
So I reckon low would mean 1 chili. So just slice it up. So set that there to the side. That's ready to go. I'm going to grab some oregano and just roughly chop that. A couple of basil tips. Give that a little chop. And I'm going to grab a little bit of thyme. Now, thyme and tomato go very well together. But what goes even better with thyme is taleggio. Taleggio cheese has got this sort of, it's a wash rind cheese. You can eat all of it, right? I put mine in the freezer for this dish, and we just grate it on top because it's much easier to deal with, because it's a very soft cheese. So we'll do that last minute. So we're kind of pretty much ready to go. You can see it's really starting to get really quite nice and thick and delicious. All right, what else do I need? Some extra virgin olive oil, pepper, lots of black pepper in my eggs, yum, and salt. Obviously, adding the seasoning at the very end means that it's much easier to control the seasoning. If I add it in the beginning and then reduce it, you're in danger of having something that's too salty by the time it reduces. So just keep your seasoning until the end. Yeah, specky. So let's get this out for 1 second. We're gonna add our chili into this because we want the flavor of the chili and the bacon to get to know each other. Back in, more caramelise. Stove off, our tomatoes ready. Woo! Look at that. Now we've got perfectly cooked speck, some chili. We're now going to add in our reduced tomato, baby Romas, beautiful. We'll give that a little. So everything at this stage is nice and hot, right? Which is what we want. Let's add the herbs. Oh, if only it was smell-o-vision. Now this size dish is good for 2 people. Really important, before you go any further, just taste it. It needs salt. There you go, that's why we taste stuff. And I'm gonna give it a bit more pepper. Now, this is the next important part. Now we want to make 4 little pockets to put our eggs in. So we're gonna go 1 there and 1 there. All right, you see that little pockets? Crack the egg, put the egg in the hole. Okay, now comes a little bit of salt, not too much because we're going to add the taleggio now because it's frozen. easy to handle. Super simple. What we want to do is stop at that point, get some of that cheese and just tuck it in. And this is a way to sneak some extra cheese in without getting found out. These are going to take about 6-7 minutes in the wood oven. Bye. It's coffee time?
Yeah. Cool.
Time for coffee. Lavazza. Thanks for coffee, Loz. She's a good egg, that wife. Woo-hoo-hoo! Come on, look at that. Let's have a little sneak peek. They're looking perfectly cooked. Look at that. Delicious. What it does need, a little bit extra cheese. A little bit extra melty goodness on the top. Let's have some extra torn basil. So good. The smell of this is insane. Bit of bread. And really, you don't need to butter your bread. You've got all of the delicious juices from a tomato. Let's see if I can find a perfect runny yolk there. There it is. You got speck, you got runny yolk, you got basil, you got chili. This is breakfast.